Hi there and happy April. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It is so beautiful outside today that I just had to do it outside. Actually, the truth is I already recorded one of these inside, and that's why I actually have all the cards already. But something happened to that video. I think it was the universe telling me that I needed to do it out here because it is so nice. It's around 70 degrees here in the city, and it's so nice. So, as I said, I already picked the cards for all the 12 signs of the zodiac and one for the collective at the end. So I did do it live. I did have, or was planning to, and I did have, you know, all the good energy that you need. These aren't any that I just randomly picked. I will say there were very few fallouts, maybe a couple, and as I go through them, maybe I'll remember what they are. We are going to go in order of the zodiac because it is April, and yeah, so Aries, Taurus season. So we'll stick with that order, and I promise someday I will go in the opposite order and start from Pisces or Libra. So I'm picking from, or I picked from my Oracle Mermaids guidebook. I may look into it here and there for any more insight, and I will, you know, try to remember the original energy that I felt into when I pulled these cards, because it's not just about what the cards say. I really feel like it's the message that's coming through to me as the reader too. So, Aries, you got Sanctuary. I also really recommend looking at your rising signs too, or if you're like a triple Aries or anything like that. If you have like Mercury in Aries, Venus in Aries, the Moon in Aries, you should definitely check Aries in your sun sign as well, if you feel called to, or any sign that you really feel called to. So I really think this is a huge call for self-care this month. As you can see, this mermaid is in the bathtub relaxing. So it says privacy, inviolate personal space, respected boundaries, and taboos. So I think it's not just about self-care, but putting boundaries up in order to ensure that you have time for self-care and not being someone who gets in your own way and breaks down your own boundaries. I remember saying this in the original video, because sometimes we think that respected boundaries is just about other people, but it's about us respecting our own boundaries and need for self-care, right? So I'm really feeling this one as an Aries rising. And just remembering that you do have time for privacy and personal space. Everybody does, and an Aries especially needs this. They're the sign of the individual, the independent, right? Of course, we all need time together in community, but I think this is just a reminder of validation and like permission to be selfish this month, Aries. Not that, I don't know that Aries needs permission, right? They're often thought of as the selfish sign. Them and Leos, huh? And that's not necessarily true. Maybe they're the signs in the zodiac to teach us how to prioritize taking care of ourselves and self-care. Okay, so Taurus, you got Homeland. I really love this card. I love the number. It's 44, which represents ancestors and angels and guides watching over us, knowing that we're always protected, and it's a sign to keep going and move forward with whatever it is we're doing. So Homeland, arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building, and settled. I really see this as, possibly getting settled into a new home, or settled into the home that you have now, and really nourishing yourself there and spending lots more time there. Not that you haven't already because of pandemic and quarantine, but I'm just really feeling settled and rooted. Maybe this is a new house, maybe you're moving, maybe you're putting down metaphorical roots. That's James. James, leave it. Come here, buddy. Barking at a dog walking by, or something, or somebody walking by. Establishing roots, or maybe Maybe it's like a spiritual arrival that you have come to. Maybe it's an actual journey that has ended for you. Maybe you're on a business trip and you're coming back home. So I feel like this could be seen in a lot of different ways, Taurus. So you'll have to tell me. But just really finally, I feel like you're going to be getting the energy and the feeling that you're feeling established and settled, and that you're building and creating something this month. So that's for Taurus. Gemini, you got Lumeria returns, earthy spirituality, community, ocean conservation. So if you don't know, Lumeria was a land where the Lumerians existed, and they were very spiritual and beautiful and wonderful, and they were erased off the population in a war, I think, and they are believed to live within Mount Shasta, the mountain. And there's lots of actually different stories and interpretations, so you may know different ones, but that's what I know of Lumeria from my time spent up there. And when there are certain skies over the mountain, it is said to be that they are visiting. So I feel like this means for Gemini, it's going to be possibly a really spiritual month for you. And so just really dig into your earthy spirituality, and also maybe finding your community, your spiritual community that you want to thrive and exist in and feel good in. And of course, spirituality could mean so many different things and manifest in so many different ways, so it's very personal to you. Yeah, and that's what I see for Gemini. So maybe taking a class, maybe, you know, now that things are starting to open up with restrictions, you can go to a talk, or I'm sitting on a rock, sorry, or you can do like a meetup with a spiritual group or something like that. I'm feeling the energy of Cancers. Cancer, we got corals, wisdom, colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. So when I really felt into the energy of this when I first saw it, I felt like, and I also got this, someone got this card in a free reading that I do every Monday on my Instagram stories. And I described it as a possibility that you're working on something very delicate, a project, you're creating something, and maybe it's best right now to keep it close to your heart and not reveal too many details about it. Because similar to coral, it's a fragile thing. Creation and birthing things are fragile. And it's also a reminder that good things take time. Great pieces of work take time. So if you're feeling rushed, or if you're feeling like you aren't where you should be yet in life, and I feel like lots of Cancers feel like this often, but yeah, if you're just feeling that, it's just a reminder that good things take time. And I think that's a really, yeah, it's a really nice one. Okay, Leo. You got the present, gift, treasure, revelation of our own value, and nowness. And originally when I got this card, the energy that came from this was really calling on Leos to live in the present moment this month, in the month of April, and really be aware of your surroundings, feel the sunshine on you, you know, feel into your senses. And that it's a gift to be in the present. And maybe you'll have a revelation this month about your own value, and it'll manifest as you raising your prices in your business, or standing up for yourself with somebody, or having a voice in one of your relationships, or going on a solo journey and treating yourself to great self-care. It can manifest in so many ways. So really, and nowness, being in the now. So this month, really be where you are. A lot of times, you know, many times we're living in the where you want to be. If I have this, then I will feel and be ... But what about the present? What about the now? because we're often spending more time in that in between, that middle, and that's to be enjoyed too. So what's happening in the now. Also, it could be that you are receiving an actual gift this month, Leo, for the month of April. So I would love to hear at the end of the month how that resonates for you. Virgo, you received air, breathing deep, entering into life, exchanging of life, breathing energies. So maybe for the month of April, taking a breathwork class, or really feeling into your breath just on the daily. I always recommend to clients and anyone really who asks to set a timer. Setting a timer can be amazing, and sometimes at the beginning it'll take you a minute to remember what you set it for, especially if you're using it for multiple different things. But you can set it to check in with yourself, check in with your breath, and just stop and breathe. We're so often going that we forget to breathe, you know? So I think this is a great reminder. And if and when things get tough this month for you, Virgos, so much can be accomplished and changed by your breath. Doing a simple inhale for a 5 and exhale for a 10. So you're elongating the exhale. You can also do 6, 12, or 4, 8. But doing that type of breathing can shift you into your parasympathetic nervous system, where you can rest, digest, create, play, have sex, basically live the life that you want to live instead of the tense, hypervigilant, or, super deep freeze, numbed out state. We're trying to live in that middle place, right, as often as possible. And our breath, something as simple as our breath, can take you there. And I think also the message I'm really getting right now for Virgos and everybody is, don't let the simple things be so simple that you don't do them, because they work, right? And also be gentle with yourself. Invite small, doable ways to do this, like a timer. It could be once a day. If you're too busy, if you say you're too busy, once a day, to just watch that breath, and it'll lead to so much more. Okay, Libra, you got time and tide, oceanic spells, and rituals. So I feel like this is a call to get near water. And this, if you don't have access to it, also you could take a nice bath or shower with salt under your feet. My business coach gave me that idea. So it doesn't have to be a bath. But if it is a bath, if you do have a bathtub, you can also sprinkle like little seaweed flakes in there and make it really feel like the ocean. And this is about cleansing for you this month. This message, if you choose to receive it and it resonates with you, is about cleansing with water, salt water, and paying attention to your rituals. What are your daily rituals, and what rituals do you feel called to bring in? Maybe you want to do a simple tarot practice where you pull a card a day, or you want to check your astrology, or you meditate, or you do breath work with your Virgo friends. Was that what it was? Yeah. I was looking at the air card. So yeah, Libra, tell me how this resonates. Yeah, I think it's about spending time near water, cleansing, taking lots of baths. That is also something that can shift your system, activate your parasympathetic nervous system, is just to take a bath. So if you can implement that into your day, that would be awesome. Again, you can take showers with salt. That's great too. And just seeing the day and the energies cleanse off you. So for the month of April, paying attention to those daily rituals too. And that could also be, not just, but reading a chapter a day, having, a glass of water, 2 glasses of water, and try to know yourself and make sure that you're making these things really, really doable. And when you think you want to do something big, like have 6 glasses of water a day when you right now are having 0, maybe just try for the 1 and work your way up, because that'll allow for less disappointment and shame around not being able to implement it when it makes sense you can implement it, because it's really hard to go from A to Z. It's much easier to go B, C, D, E, F, G. Anyway, okay, so the next one, that was Libra. This is Scorpio. It's getting hot out here. Okay, Scorpio, adrift, letting go, allowing for a higher force to take charge for a time. Where does this apply into your life? Where can you implement this? Where can you let go? Scorpios are, take charge energy, and it can be hard to let go. So where and how can you let go and maybe receive, ask for help, even if you don't feel like you have support around you. Like, you always have energetic support around you. So you can ask a higher power, like, or ancestors. That's a tip from my ancestral coach was to, when things feel too heavy, ask your ancestors, can you hold this for me? I just can't right now, right? Yeah, so allowing a higher force to take charge, just letting go, and I'm also feeling like she's open, so I feel like a receiving going on too, that, feels like it needs to happen. Make sure my phone's not getting too hot. Wonder if I should move it in the shade somewhere. Okay. There we go. Alright, that's a little bit better. I just didn't want it to get super hot. Okay, so that was Scorpio, and like I said, I really feel like that resonates for Scorpio. I mean, I'm not a Scorpio, you let me know, but I feel like it could, just because of the energies around Scorpio are a lot to do and go and produce and take charge, and they don't oftentimes feel like they can ask for help, or that they can just see how things are going to manifest. So whatever helps you to do that, maybe lots of self-care, maybe moving your body a lot, right? It's a sign that typically, like, Aries needs to be active to get a lot of that energy out. James, leave it. And so that was Scorpio. Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Sorry, I gotta go through these for a minute. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and the collective. Sorry. Okay. So this is Sagittarius, the unseen. Too much is hidden from you. It looks like a bad card, but really I feel like it's a message that don't finalize anything maybe. Treat this kind of like a April, like Mercury retrograde. Check things out, review, check contracts over again. Don't do anything permanent if you can. And if you have to, just double check things. It's not the end of the world if you have to. It's not the doomsday card that it looks like. It just means that maybe some information is missing and you might have made a different choice if you had it. So now that we're at the beginning of the month and this is the direction it's going in, just try to use this month for research and finding out what's really going on beneath the surface. And that could be in any aspect of life. You'll have to let me know. Sagittarius. Okay. Capricorns, transparency, honest, authentic, genuine, and present. So another sign being called to be present, but we can only really be present when we're enjoying like what we're doing in life and who we're with, and when we're transparent and honest about how we're feeling. Yeah, so whatever could help you to be more honest and authentic in your relationships and life, and maybe require that of other people. This month, how can you implement that? Be genuine in all your endeavors. And feel, if you haven't felt like Capricorns can often be serious, but if you don't feel like you can be playfully, authentically you, maybe bring some of that in this month. But really, yeah, be yourself, be honest by who you are, and kind of unashamed. Be nice in communicating that message to people, but communicate it. The month of April, I think, it's really calling on you to be honest about who you are. Maybe it's a specific thing, or maybe it's just in general. Capricorns, I don't know. Let me know. Aquarius, you got sisterhood. You rule the 11th house, and the 11th house rules loud vehicles. Could. No, I don't think so. The 11th house rules friendships. So sisterhood, friendship, allies, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. So I think this month of April is a call to get back in touch with your friends, maybe see some of your friends as their restrictions are lifting, and enjoy their company and delight in their company, and spend time with your most compatible souls, and prioritize loyalty and friendships this month. Check in on people, visit with them, see them if you feel safe. If you don't, I don't want to be another person to tell you to go on Zoom again or just do it online, but maybe you can call or text. Okay, Pisces, you got honor the masculine, which I found to be really interesting. And I also just feel like in society in 2021, we are kind of like dogging the masculine a lot. And I think it comes from obviously the patriarchy and capitalism, and of course like what the history of white men have done to our society and to people. I think it makes sense that we feel that way, but I do feel sometimes we need to separate masculinity and men, right? Because they're not necessarily the same thing. We've made them the same thing. And masculine energy, when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, I feel is necessary, right? When we have too much of the feminine energy going on, and it can manifest in so many ways. Some people think one of the manifestations is endometriosis, for example, which I have. So yeah, balance is necessary. So not being able to embrace this and pushing it away, kind of like we have in a society, and connecting it to men and the patriarchy and capitalism has been dangerous, I think, because it's made us afraid to connect with our masculinity. But there's so much great. I think we also are starting to embrace it too, because we're starting to embrace gender as an idea, right? And not something that we even feel like we resonate with. But it doesn't, masculine and feminine aren't necessarily related to gender, right? It's an energy, and masculine energy happens to be, the go forth energy, it's kind of like the oomph and the spice that you need. I remember my ancestral coach, describing this energy, and me kind of not wanting to embrace it or to resonate, and feeling like I couldn't resonate with it because I had a lot in my dad's lineage that I didn't like, right? And I didn't want to, believe was mine and connect and relate to. But, she reminded me that there are good things that you can get from the male lineages in your life as well. So if there's good things you can get from male lineages, then there's good things you can get from masculine energy. And one of those was, when she told me one day beautifully that I could ask my ancestors for help and things that I need, it helped me to separate, what I would put on my mom's altar to ask for than what I would put on my dad's altar. And she said, that masculine energy is much more like go getter, succeed, finish energy. And remember, we need both. We don't want to be only that. We need to nourish ourselves, mother ourselves, take care of ourselves, that feminine energy invites in and gives us. But anyway, Pisces, how can you honor the masculine, call it in? Maybe you can change your style for the month of April and wear like a suit to a wedding instead of a dress. That's totally just an example, but and again, we assign those looks as masculine, right? Like we created that, so what's masculine? But that's just an idea. maybe you embrace, yeah, you're a water sign, so there's lots of feminine energy with you, so maybe you embrace that, again, that go-getter, maybe more charge in, brass, risky energy, and kind of, yeah, take a risk, take charge, have fun, with the masculine energy this month, and really like maybe journal or meditate on, if you feel called to, how you can do that, how you can bring that in, and what ways would be fun, and in what ways you need it. And the card for the collective, Song of the Siren, the call, summoning voice to acknowledge. I thought this was just so beautiful. I hope you can see it. The sun keeps moving. So yeah, I really hope you can see that. And to me, again, this is the card for the collective, and to me this really resonates. Sorry, you're like watching me squat. I'll just hold it there. It really resonates to listen to the call within, to listen to your soul, whatever, in whatever possible way that may be this month. To acknowledge it. I think that that's huge. If you don't feel like you can take any steps right now, to at least acknowledge that the call within in there is there, that the desire is there, and this could be anything in any aspect of life. You would have to tell me how it resonates for you. This is for the collective, so everybody. And I just love this card because if you feel lost or disconnected from yourself, always know that you are in there and you can, reconnect and find yourself. And I just love this card because it is like a summoning when you're working to get back to yourself. And it's a voice within, and maybe finding your voice this month, in the month of April. Listening to that call, acknowledging it, and moving forward, taking small, doable steps, doing what you can to answer it, not feeling overwhelmed. So that was a reading for the 12 signs and one for the collective, and I'm getting hot, so I'm gonna head out, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.